Before that, it was the Beatles and In My Life. GTFM on 107.9 FM and online 30 minutes after 11 o'clock. Of course, there's a certain game being played on Saturday, Wales against England, round 3 in the Six Nations Championship. And I'm pleased to say, joined to preview the game on Saturday is Welsh rugby legend and local boy, of course, from Rhyd Valley in Pontypridd, Tom David. Good morning to you, Tom.
Hey, morning, Gareth. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. What's it like being a granddad again? Because the last time you came, of course, your daughter-in-law had given birth.
Yeah, we've got 2 grandchildren now. I'm sure lots of people understand this. They both understand 2 words. They said, mine, all mine. And can I have?
Can I have? Yeah, yeah. But everybody finds.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's a wonderful thing. It's so the obvious thing with grandchildren, before you have them, people say, "Oh, it'll change your life," and I could never understand that. It does. Yeah, it does. It's wonderful. Yeah. It's absolutely wonderful.
Brilliant. Coming in today then for the big one on Saturday. Why do they always call it the big one, Tom?
Well, the one thing is about it with England and Wales, you'll always have that. It's like Pontypridd versus Cardiff. That was the big game, when I played. He's the big city slickers and all that, and England being what they are and all that, so he's the massive one. I mean, without preempting this, after the game, I'm sure Wales will win. I won't get any phone calls. If England win, I switch my phone off. Yeah. Because across the border, I got lots and lots of friends, and that is the banter. But it's always England is the big game. Yeah. And of course, it's great. It's round 3, both teams undefeated. What's given you the most pleasure? What's impressed you the most? Because obviously we went to France, awful first half. Boys came back in the second half. England, of course, winning in Dublin, and that was a bit of a surprise for many people. But it's an interesting encounter on Saturday, Tom, isn't it? Well, it is. Obviously, you look at the records. The one thing I'll always say about any game, going back to the French game, I'm sure everybody was the same at half-time. We thought, oh, here we go and all that. But the most important thing is to win by a point, and if you do with style, that's the bonus. Look, Wales have been absolutely fantastic, beaten 10, 11 games, and it's all about turning up on the day. But England are strong. But they went through a bit of a bad patch. For the Saturday game, they've got a strong squad, but they've got 3 main players out. Obviously, Vanapola, the prop, is the biggest, in my opinion. But whoever turns up, you've got to believe before the game starts that Wales are going to win. And I believe Wales will win.
Before we get into the Welsh team then, Elliot Daly seems to have been a big success. Of course, Brown dropped and they've brought Daly in, and he's one of these attacking, dangerous players, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's no doubt England are a class side. The strength of the squad they got, and obviously the one thing is with Eddie Jones, the coach, you either hate him or love him and all that, but he's been there and done it and all that, and it's all about the players. A coach is there to organise you, not to tell you how to play. I've always said all my playing life. I've been a very lucky guy in my life as a rugby man. But coaches inspire me, yes they do, but once I'm on the field, it's all about me, especially one of my Pontypridd days as a captain. It's all the balance, again, right.
And of course, when you're at Llanelli, Carwyn James, the late great Carwyn James, and what a coach he was, Tom.
Well, Carwyn James was the coach of the 71 Lions who was successful in New Zealand, and I remember when I played for Llanelli against New Zealand, 1972. Now this is pre-match talk, and he said, remember one thing, guys, we've had a month's fantastic training, but remember one thing. I'm only here to organise you guys, not to tell you how to play. Can you imagine a coach saying that now? Because it's all pods, it's all more like rugby league. But that's how great the coach was. He was there to inspire every individual player, and he inspired us to make sure and brought us up to 10 foot, take the All Blacks on, and which we did. And I'll say very luckily we won 9-3, so history.
Yeah. And of course your Welsh caps as well. So the dangers on Saturday, like who do you think are the key players in their English pack, for example?
Well, they're strong all around, to be honest. You look at the squad itself, they've got a very, very mobile back row. They've got a very physical back row, But it's like most things. I look at the game in my own little way, and it's like anything. After 10 minutes, a quarter of an hour, if we're solid, especially in the scrum, you always think, oh, this looks good. Yeah. If we're going backwards, you think, oh, my God, look out. If we're knocking them back, it's a bonus. But it's all about the part, is the scrums, and everything a part of the game. But whoever turns up and whoever actually makes these things happen.
And Youngs and Farrell, it's not a bad partnership they developed over the last couple of seasons.
Oh no, absolutely. Look, England are a real solid side, but so is Wales, and there's no doubt about that. I believe that Wales will win on Saturday. You know, it's going to be, people will always say the obvious things. It's going to be tight, you know. But look at the game against obviously France. You know, at half time with us, you think, oh look out, here we go and all that. But it's all making things happen as well, you know. And I think we've got the quality, without a shadow of doubt, to make things happen.
Yeah. Now, Sam Warburton has written in the press this week, I think, or over the weekend, that he thinks that Nicky Smith and Jake Ball should come into the front five. Would you go along with that?
Well, whoever they bring in, Gareth, I'll repeat myself so many times, it's all about whoever performs on the day. I mean, if you haven't got a strong squad, you haven't got a strong team. That's more than rugby, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, look, the bottom line is whoever they bring in, you know, it'd be very interesting if Halfpenny plays.
Mm-hmm.
Do
you think he will?
Be very surprised, but in my playing days, probably 100 years ago, you had to prove your fitness with a game, a physical game, not fitness. Yeah. If you don't play a game prior to an internationals or club, you weren't considered. So I'd be very, very surprised if Halfpenny, great player, don't get me wrong, great goal kicker. I'd be very surprised if he plays, but I'm sure if he does play, great play.
Because he hasn't played since the Scotland game in the autumn series.
Well, he's been off a long, long time, you know, and I'll go back to this sort of match fitness, you know, it's so different to actual fitness, you know, when you actually could run, say, 20 times 100 yards, the moment you've got somebody coming at you, or you've got to turn and you've got to do this and do that. But then again, you know, it's all about, if he does play, how he performs, you know.
So he'll certainly be on the bench, I would have thought, even if he doesn't start, Tom?
Well, I would be very surprised if he can be involved, personally speaking. If you look at the guy, he's got pedigree, he's a great player and all that, but this is my own personal opinion. And the one thing about any game, Gareth, as we know, when he turns up and he plays and he's played a fantastic game, that's the only way you shut people up, including myself.
Liam Williamson at full back for you?
Yeah, he's an attacking player, and I love people when they sort of they get the ball, then he take people on, you know, and he's got it all, in my opinion. Yeah. The difference of the balance is, and everybody will know this, Halfpenny is a great tackler, he's obviously a great goal kicker, without a shadow of a doubt, but he lacks the attacking thing, in my opinion. But Liam Williams is the reverse. He's a great tackler, and he's an attacking player. He's not a great goal kicker.
And George North, it's nice to see him back in a little bit of good form.
Yeah, George North, he's another player that I admire, because whenever he gets the ball, he wants to beat players. And he wants the ball, you can see, he's looking for the ball all the time, you know. And he's a very strong boy. People said to me the other day, you know, he's not as quick, but he creates opportunities, and he's a great finisher, and as is proven, obviously, look at his previous performances.
And of course, Jonathan Davis. It's great to see Jonathan back in that centre pair in there.
Yeah, he's a good player, Jonathan Davis. You know, I got to respect and actually play and all that. And he's always there. He's looking for the gaps and all that. He's looking to offload and all that. He's a very intelligent centre. I think the balance is there perfect at the moment.
Yeah, and outside half. Of course, in Wales, as Max used to say, you know, the outside half factory. Who would you put it at number 10?
Well, I like Biggett, I got to be honest, because he does everything solid. And then again, people always criticise him for not being the most attacking player. Anscombe is a good player, like, he can go on and on, whatever outside half they play, you know. But, you know, I play Biggett, my own personal choice.
Yeah. Any particular reason for that?
Well, he's strong. He's obviously, from a tactical point of view, he knows how to play it and all that, you know. But then again, whoever plays at number 10, and it's all about what type of ball they're going to win. Good ball, bad ball. We all know the basics of rugby and all that. If you're going forward and you're coming onto the balls and all that, it's an easy game to play. If you're flat and you're going backwards and then you're going to make decisions, then it's very difficult. So it's all about whoever wins the ball up front, going forward, then you create a lot more.
And scrum half? Would you go for Davis?
Yeah, well, then again, I think there's so many great scrum halves. Whoever plays makes a difference, you know. And I'll keep repeating myself boringly. They got good ball going forward and all that. We've got so many great scrum halves who can create problems. You can play anyone. But Davis is one of my favourites.
And of course, one of the dangers as well, Tom, we win on Saturday, but then of course we got Scotland at Murrayfield then a couple of weeks after that.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing is, it's always the next game, and, you know, you look at the run, in all fairness, go back to the 10, 11 games ago, or whatever, and if you had said, right, Wales are going to win the next 10 games, we'd probably all thought, hey, somebody's on tablets. But they have. Yeah. It's a difficult game, it's a very, very physical game, but Wales, in all fairness, and You know, you either love Gatland or you hate him and all that, but the bottom line is 10 consecutive games. So he's a very, very successful coach, one of the best coaches in the world because of the games.
And do you think if we beat England on Saturday, and fingers crossed, toes crossed, we will, we got the side to beat Scotland up there, and then of course Ireland at home?
Well, to be honest, you look at Scotland's form now. Look, they got a tough game on Saturday, Ireland, trust me, you know,
yeah.
so it's not going to be easy. But like most things in life, you know, the next game is totally different. You got to win. You got obviously, when people said to me when Gatland made in the coaching staff 10 changes for the Italy game, a lot of people criticised Warren Gatland for that. My opinion, no. Because at the end of the day, you bring an experience on, you're using your squad. Okay, you won the most exciting win, but the most important thing is a win. And as I previously said, if you win with style, it's a bonus. But you've got to bring your squad in, you've got to bring players, you've got to give them the opportunity, you know. And that's the bottom line, in my opinion.
Excellent. Well then, Tom, thank you very much indeed for coming in today. So you are tipping Wales to beat England on Saturday?
Oh, absolutely, and there's no doubt about it. I'd be down in Llanelli Rugby Club watching the game, and yeah, I'm red through and through, like everybody's passionate about rugby in Wales. But the most important thing from my point of view is the obvious thing is that Wales will win, and I believe they will win. It's not one of these false things. I think it's going to be a great game. And
they can win up in Scotland as well?
I think you look at the past record that Gatland through a team, I think they're capable of beating every. I repeat myself, Scotland up and down like yo-yos at the moment. It's like against Ireland, we all thought here we go and all that, but that's going to be the interesting game, Ireland as well. But interesting, look, England beat Ireland and they beat them really impressively out in Ireland, so we'll see what happens.
And Llanelli Rugby Club, how are things going there, Tom?
Yeah, they're going great. The one thing is, when I became president of Llanelli Rugby Club, which I'm proud to say, you know, because I was born and bred in Llanelli, then I realised all the dedication and hard work that all the committee, so people like Gareth obviously, and Dylan, actually create there, and all the work, and it's for a bit of fun. So yeah, very proud, and they're going quite well. Obviously, we always like to win more, but the club in itself is good. Great atmosphere.
That's good to know. Good to know. Well, come back and join us soon.
Yes.
You know, and we'll speak to you very shortly. And fingers crossed, everything you've said about this win against England Saturday will come true on Saturday.
Absolutely. Get your money on Wales.
Thanks very much, Tom. Enjoy the match.
Aye.